I talk to a lot of roofers, and I talk to a lot of roofers that are not using Google search ads. And I want to make a pushback statement on that. I believe, as a digital marketer, Google search ads are a non negotiable for roofing companies in 2026 and beyond. If you're not using Google search ads, you are leaving money on the table 100% of the time. But before we get into that, if we haven't met yet, my name is Preston. We are Results Digital, and we're the leading agency just for roofing companies in the United States. We only work with one roofer in a geographic area, and we only take on a selective amount of roofers at one time. And our goal is to help those roofers dominate their local market so that their competitors can't compete against them, and so that our clients can meet their financial goals. If that's something that interests you, there's a link in the description where you can book a free strategy call and we can see if we're a fit. Now, on to the lesson. Now, maybe you're new to the whole Google Ads realm and Google realm. So let me just walk you through what a standard Google search page looks like, and I'll point out the elements. At the very top right here, you have what are called local service ads, LSA for short. You can respond by filling in a form or placing a phone call. And this is what's called pay per lead. It means that you can dispute the lead if it's not indeed a lead. And it works really well when a roofer's trying to get started getting leads for their roofing company. I always encourage roofers, start with LSA. If you don't have an agency that can set that up for you, we can. But LSA is a really effective way and a really low cost way to kind of dip your toe into the water of Google Ads. And it is Google Ads. It's just a pay per lead form of Google Ads. But right below the LSA are Google search ads. And you can see there's two here. So picture this. If you didn't show up right here because you exhausted your budget for the day, or maybe Google's preferring another competitor above you, by having search ads running, you're still showing at the very top of the search engine. You're showing right here. And these LSA ads don't fire all the time. They don't show all the time. And so whenever they're not showing, at least you can show up in a Google search right here at the very top. So another thing is Google search ads show right here in the map pack. You can artificially put yourself in the map pack. Now, let me explain how this benefits you. I live in Montgomery, Texas. So Montgomery, Texas, this one's in Montgomery, Texas, this one's in Magnolia, right? So these three are all local. And this guy's in Houston. Now, Houston's about 45 minutes south of me, but he's showing as in my local area. And so Google search ads allow you to artificially inject your map listing right here in the map pack. You're one of the four. And you're able to do that using Google search ads. So if you've hit a place with your leads where you're not getting enough leads, or let's say you're trying to grow your sales team beyond just yourself, and Google LSA is not filling your budget. You're saying, hey, I'll spend $10,000 a week, and it says, great, we'll send you $1,000 a week worth of business. But you're like, no, I want $10,000 a week. They're like, okay, well, we'll send you $1,000. Well, with LSA, you're kind of trapped. There's nothing that you can do to kind of break out of that wall. You have to earn trust with Google over time to move to newer income brackets. And they're trying to spread the load between all the roofers. Well, search ads are a little bit different, because if you have the budget, you can show. And Google's going to make sure that you use your budget, that it gets clicks. All right, and now let me explain something. Google as a company, Alphabet, they make 75% of their revenue off of Google search ads. All right, so they're probably a $1 trillion company, and yet they make a large chunk of their money, 75%, off of Google search ads. So they absolutely work. Google search ads work. And there's chances that LSA might not show, but Google search ads are. And you're going to be able to get the click. Google's going to make sure on LSA, if you tell Google I have $5,000 a week to spend, they may say, okay, we're only going to send you $1,000. If you tell Google search ads, I got $5,000 a week to spend. By golly, they will make sure that you spend all that money. So if you're looking to get leads and LSA is capped out, then Google search ads is the next alternative. Let me just show you some of the results real quick. So this is for one of my roofing clients. And with this roofing client in particular, you can see that we're going for qualified web forms. That means that we actually have to read the web forms and qualify them as a lead before we send them back to Google as a conversion event. And then qualified website calls following the same logic. We listen to the phone call, we rate it. If it's a lead, we push it back. Same thing with qualified call extensions. This client just bumped their budget to $300 a day. And they got 32 conversions in the last 30 days. They have a conversion rate of 16.3%. So that means 16% of the time that someone clicks on the ad, it's going to result in a conversion. They're paying $221 for vetted leads. That's important. These aren't contacts. These are people where my team has listened to the call, we've read the web form, and we've verified this is a legit lead. Their sales team should be able to do something with this lead. And only those are we pushing back as actual conversion events. And 16.3% of the time that a click occurs, they're getting a conversion. They're paying $221 for those. Now, are they closing all of them? No. But because they're vetted leads, they're really good. And they're going to result in a higher close ratio. And so that's one of the things that you can do with search ads. LSA will max you out and say, there, big boy, you've gotten enough this week. Just be satisfied with what Big Daddy Google has given you. Where Google search ads, it's like, oh, you want to spend money? Well, we will help you spend that money. And if your ads are properly managed, and I can't stress this enough because I do talk with I've hired a lot of Google Ads specialists. And I fired a lot of Google Ads specialists. And so I know not a lot of people are worth their salt and really know how to use Google search ads. But when your Google search ads are in the hands of a capable agency, it will result in good, high quality leads coming into you that you would not have gotten if you only went with LSA. So that is my argument for this video. Every single roofer should be using Google search ads in 2026 and on. Why? Because they're going to be leaving leads on the table that Google knows about, but they're not going to send to you unless you're using search ads. If you found this video helpful, consider liking it. And if you'd like to talk about a strategy session, please reach out. Love to discuss that with you. Until next time, Results Digital out.